only is the energy update today going to be about the full moon, the super full moon that we have, but it's also going to be about the last half of April, because April is really supercharged with energy. I don't know what's going on with the lighting. This is so weird. But hopefully you guys can still see me. I know the lighting's kind of weird, but anyways, the full moon, the super full moon, is going to be on April 26th at 8:31 p.m. Pacific time. And if you're on the other side of the world, if you're in Europe, Africa, or Asia, it's going to be on April 27th. Now this energy is going to be super intense. So we're gonna feel it a few days before, a few days after. It's gonna be a really intense energy. So this is a good time for you to ground. It's a good time for you to really sit in your energy and just connect with yourself. Okay, so first let's talk about the energy update for April, the last bit of April, because the energy has been super intense. It's been super intense. Let me know how you have been feeling. Let me know how have you been feeling like in the past week. I'm sure a lot of you guys are feeling tired. Maybe you're feeling frustrated, or you have no motivation, or maybe you're just feeling a little bit stuck. So that is because Mars is in its exterior elliptical orbit. So Pam Gregory explains that how Mars is actually going to be there until May 25th. So until May 25th, we're going to feel this Mars energy intensified. And so it's important for you to use this energy in an empowering way, because with everything we can even with the super full moon, right, we can use it to empower ourselves with this transformative death and rebirth energy, or we can use it in a lower expression where we'll feel overwhelmed, we'll feel defeated, we'll feel disempowered. So again, it's a choice of how you work with this energy. And of course, I'm not saying it's easy. Sometimes it is the hard work that we have to do, especially when it comes to transformation and dealing with the Scorpio energy, which I'll talk about later. But once you put in the hard work now, the work that you do later, it's gonna be so much easier. So it's like put in the hard work now so that later you're gonna be smooth sailing, especially as we go into eclipse season. Eclipse season starts. Oh, this lighting is really frustrating me. You see, like this Taurus, this Mars energy is really acting up. So with this Mars energy, one of the ways to use it in an empowering way is by focusing on your spiritual goals. Focus on what you want this next chapter of your life to look like, because we are going through a death and rebirth process, especially with the eclipse season that's starting in May, and that's going to happen for a few months. So what do you want to do right now is just focus on your spiritual goals. Even though, you know, we just are coming out of Aries season, and Aries was about, you know, moving forward in our goals. I know I personally was like super excited, and then I hit like this plateau of like no motivation, and I was super tired. And it's because we are all, not only are we dealing with this Mars energy, but we're also getting hit from all directions. So we had a lot of intense solar activity on April 17th, and this solar activity may have caused you to have really painful headaches and migraines. Maybe you just felt super tired and you had to just take naps constantly. Like that's what I did. I've been napping, like last week I was napping like nonstop. And so it is a lot of energy that is coming into our planet. So you have to make sure that you're very compassionate with yourself, because it's a lot to deal, especially being in a human body and having this sensitivity to energy. So right now it's, and I know a lot of you guys, you've been messaging me, you've been saying that you've been very thirsty. That is because of the solar flares. So the solar flares are activating our dormant DNA from our ancestors, and all of that is causing a lot of changes in our bodies. It may cause anxiety and feelings of overwhelmingness. I know that there's some research done that when solar flares happen, that the rise of suicide rates increases. So, you know, it's a lot of energy. So just make sure you're grounding, you're being gentle with yourself, and definitely you want to drink a lot of water over this next few weeks. Like, because I have a feeling that we're going to continue to get hit by this solar activity. So that's one thing, right? We have this Mars energy, we have the solar flares, but we also have the Schumann resonance. So let me know in the chat, like, did you guys wake up in the middle of the night, like constantly over these past few days? And it's because the Schumann resonance has blown up completely. Like, I honestly have never seen the chart like I saw it yesterday. And it's just super intense what's happening on our planet. Again, we're really being prepared for this rebirth period. So it's important for you to just be gentle with yourself. Just spend a lot of time grounding and nurturing yourself. You guys are saying, yeah, I've been waking up, I'm feeling overwhelmed, I can't sleep, I'm so tired, I've been eating so much. I've been eating so much too. I feel you, Layla, I've been eating so much too. But for a lot of you guys, sometimes you guys will experience changes in appetite. So for some of you, like, you know, we're super hungry and we can't eat enough, but for some of you, your appetite will actually decrease. So someone saying, I have nausea and everything is making me sick to my stomach. Carol, I feel you. Actually, both me and Honey were nauseous last week. And so one of the things too is that because a lot of us are empaths and a lot of us are natural healers, what we do is we process things for the collective. So a lot of people are getting jabs right now, and we are processing their what's happening in their bodies, and we are processing like the collective purge, right? Because whenever we introduce something foreign into the body, whether it's a jab, whether it's food, or whether it's anything that's not organic to the human body sort of like has to adjust to this foreign substance. And so what we're doing as empaths, as natural healers, and we are all healers, by the way, we're all of you, I bet like most of you are empaths or in one form of another. Right, and there's also many different arrays of empaths. It's not like an empath is the overarching label, but there's different arrays of it as well. So for some empaths, what we do is we absorb these feelings into our bodies for us to transmute it for the collective. So a lot of you guys might have throat pain, you might have cold-like symptoms, you might be feeling nauseous, I got a message earlier today actually, and someone told me that they work at an office and everyone in their office is getting the jab. And so they actually told me that they felt their arm was hurting and they didn't even get the injection. So, you know, just be really compassionate with yourself. And I'm going to give you this exercise, which I hope you use every single day, because the collective energy is going to go on to a whole nother plane right now. Because what's going to happen is we are actually going to, okay, I'm trying to fix the lighting here because it's really fresh, it's really annoying me. Okay, is this better? Okay, hopefully this is better. I feel like I look orange. Maybe now is a good time to talk about how the sun is changing as well, because we've been having some conversations about that on our Facebook community. Okay, so yeah, I mean, there's literally like so much going on right now, and one of the things is, yes, the sun is changing as well. I'm just gonna use this as an interlude to that because the lighting here is just so weird right now, and the sun is changing its particles. So traditionally we've seen the sun as the father, the divine masculine, but it's sort of morphing into another energy. It's more of a neutralized energy. It's no longer a masculine, but it's more of like a neutral energy, no longer as strong like masculine energy. And so and again, like you see, I'm burping even as I'm saying this because when you're burping, when you're coughing, when you're feeling heat, when you're feeling tingles in your body, that's a sign that you're releasing. So even just talking about these things, even just creating this space right now that we're creating and connecting, we are releasing this energy and we are doing the work. You know, the subconscious mind, the body is always healing itself. And so it's so important. And happy Taurus season as well, because we just started Taurus season, and Taurus rules the body. And it's so important for you to pay attention to your body from now until mid-May. Like, just be hyper vigilant about your body. Make sure you're working out, you're doing exercise that you enjoy. Make sure you're eating raw organic food as much as possible. You know, try to avoid our sugars and processed foods and all of that. And also, just like, look at your environment. Make sure you're not surrounded by electronics. If you are, then, you know, have some pyramids, or they don't even have to be pyramids, but have anything that's black tourmaline. Okay, black tourmaline and malachite, amazonite, shungite, all of these crystals are helpful to block the radiation from EMF that's coming from our phones, from our Wi-Fi routers, from our laptops, etc. So we are really feeling a lot of energy right now. Like I said, some of this energy is not ours. We're processing it for the collective. And these black crystals, what they will do is they will help you to ground into your energy. So definitely grounding is so important right now, especially as we are entering Taurus season. Okay, I don't know how to go back to the chat. It's not letting me go back to the chat, but I really want to see your chat. Now I have some weird stuff on my screen. I'm literally like such a grandma when it comes to technology. Oh my gosh. Well, okay, I got it to work. Yay! Okay, patience. Patience. That's one of the things I'm working on. So I'm going through my own like death and rebirth process. I mean, I did just change my name. For those of you guys who didn't see the announcement, I changed my name. My name is Soltara, and that is because I am going through my own rebirth, death, and transformational process. And we're all going to be going through this as we move into the eclipse season. Okay, so let's just talk about what we're going to be feeling for this super full moon. Okay, this super full moon energy is going to be very intense. Why is it going to be intense? Because it's a super full moon. So what does a super full moon mean? It means that the moon is going to be closer to our planet, which basically means that we're going to feel her energy more. So if you live by the coast, go check out the ocean. The waves are going to be crazy high because the magnetic energy of the moon is going to be very strong, since the moon is closer to us. Now, guess what? You also have magnetic energy. You have both electric and magnetic energy. That is what they call in the spiritual community divine feminine and masculine. Those are just words for electric and magnetic energy. And when we think about this full moon in Scorpio, Scorpio is the most intense water sign. Now, Scorpio is a water sign, and what does the moon work with? It works with our emotions, right? Our emotions are dictated by the element of water, but also our body, right? Our bodies have fluids. Our body is 70% water, and so our emotions are gonna rise up to the surface so much during this super full moon. I mean, they normally do around full moon day. Our emotions do rise to the surface, but now it's going to be intensified. So it's very important for you to be compassionate with yourself. It's very important for you to be compassionate with other people, because people are going to be super sensitive. Don't be surprised if you're going to be crying and you don't know why you're crying, because you are going to feel this intense energy. I'm so sorry about the lighting, guys. Like, I'm so sorry. I don't know what is. I don't know what this is. I don't even have a light. I'm just in front of my window. So I look like a ghost right now. So funny. But okay, let's just keep talking about the Scorpio full moon. So Scorpio is a water sign. It's the most intense water sign. So your emotions are going to rise to the surface. And the thing is that because we are gearing up for eclipse season is all about bringing the shadow rising to the surface, and that's exactly what Scorpio is all about. Scorpio is all about paying attention to your shadow. It's about transformation, death, and rebirth. And the day after the super full moon, Pluto goes retrograde, and this is gonna happen within hours. Like the super full moon is on April 26th at 8:31 p.m. Pacific time, April 27th if you're on the other side of the world, and then just a few hours after, Pluto goes retrograde, you know. And so think about how crazy that is. Think about how crazy that is. Just a few days after, or a few hours after, we have this other planetary aspect coming into play. So Pluto, for those of you who are not familiar, Pluto, it rules power, it rules death, rebirth, transformation, alchemy, and it also rules secrets, and it's a very explosive energy. So secrets are gonna rise to the surface in your own life. I bet a lot of things are gonna come up in your family. I'm sure in your family relationships, a lot of things have already come up, you know, like that are rising up to the surface. Emotions are rising up to the surface, secrets are rising up to the surface in your relationships, but also we're going to see this happen in the world stage, and there's just like literally so much happening behind the scenes, and then it's like the curtain is going to be torn down. And I'm not saying it's going to be dramatic, but with Pluto, it is explosive, so I wouldn't be surprised if we are going to experience something like that. Rai said all the cheaters are gonna get exposed. Yeah, I bet like that they will, you know. I bet that there's going to be a lot of that coming up to the surface. And so just be mindful, remember to bring compassion into your relationships, because as like you're going through your own changes, the ego gets scared, because the ego's like, oh my gosh, you know, I'm going through this change, through this transformation. And the ego tries to act out because it's scared of change. The ego's not used to change because it's not safe for the ego. Because the ego's trained to focus on things that it knows, and things that it doesn't know, it's scary. And so what you have to do is like you have to pay a lot of attention to your inner child this month. Pay a lot of close attention to other people's inner child, because we all have inner child wounds, right, from our childhood and everything else. And so that's gonna rise up to the surface. So if you need to cry, you're gonna likely cry this month a lot, and just allow the emotions to flow. Like, be like water. When you look at a stream, when you look at a river, when you look at a waterfall, the water just flows, and just allow your emotions to flow. And know that this Scorpio also deals with healing, right? Scorpio is a very healing energy. And so when you allow your emotions to flow just with this water essence, you allow healing to flow into your life. Because all we need to do is we just need to sit with the emotion, and then just bringing presence into our emotions, even, you know, the things that are scary, the things that are uncomfortable. It helps us to just heal it. Just being present, you don't have to do anything, you just have to create space and honor that emotion, and it's going to flow right out of your life in a healed and transmuted state. There's a bird outside my window. I love this so much because, like, if you guys remember when I did the energy update in January, oh my gosh, there's two birds now. I love this. So when I did the energy update in January, I said that we're gonna see a lot of animals coming up in our lives. So let me know in the chat, have you been seeing any animals, either in your dreams or in your physical reality? Let me know what animals you have been seeing, because every single animal that you see is medicine, right? We're so connected to all this consciousness, and we have many different animal guides. So let me see what you guys are saying. I saw the jaguar. Oh, that's so beautiful. Oh my gosh, jaguars are powerful. I have dreams of cats and birds. Cardinals bring messages from your loved ones who have crossed the veil. Spiders and robins, crows, alligators, black jaguar, 2 crows. Oh my god, someone just said, yes, 2 crows walk on my driveway, and so many birds have been coming to my bird feeder. Crickets, jays, cardinals, birds, snakes and dragonflies. That is so amazing. And like, pay attention to these animals, because you're just like, oh my gosh, I'm just seeing a bee, I'm just seeing, you know, a caterpillar, but every single animal is bringing you medicine. And so connect with their energy. So you know, of course you can do this and Google it, you know, what does the B mean and stuff like that. But after, what I would recommend that you do before you Google this, before you research it online, why don't you tap into your own spiritual Google? We are all channels, okay? I'm gonna keep stressing that, because with the super full moon is an incredible time for us to practice divination. Divination is the art of getting answers from other realms. So you can practice this is a wonderful, wonderful moon to work with tarot cards, oracle cards, pendulums, crystals, scrying, any type of, like, if you read the runes, like any type of divination work that you do, this is a great time to get answers. It's going to be easier for you to get answers right now. So if you've been having trouble connecting with your guides, connecting with your higher self, you know, getting messages from creation, then this is a wonderful time for you to practice. And again, it just takes practice. I have so many different videos on my YouTube. Go check them out, where I share with you how to practice automatic writing, how to use oracle cards, how to use these tools in an empowering way. Because also with these tools, you have to make sure that you do it in a safe way, because sometimes, you know, energies like to troll with us. You know, if you have a brother, you know, your brother always messes with you. My older brother would always troll with me, and he would always just like play so many games. He still plays so many games with me. It's so funny, because like, honestly, now I'm turning the tables on him and playing games on him. And so it's like that, right? There's some beings out there that will just mess with you. And so what I always recommend is like, go to watch that I'll add a link up here in the cards. It's or you can just go on my YouTube. It's called Full Moon Rituals, and I explain how to do it safely. And again, there's nothing to be afraid. There's nothing out there to harm you, because you are everything. But there are things there that are just gonna mess with you, you know, because they have nothing else better to do. They don't need to sleep like us, you know. They don't need to be going to their jobs. Like, their jobs is kind of to mess with us. That's the role that they're playing, right? That's the role that we gave them as well. And so what they do is, like, you know, they'll just mess with us, and they don't do it from a space of, like, you know, ill intention. They're just doing it to teach us a lesson. And so whenever you're doing any type of energy work, I always recommend that you do it in a safe way. And again, not out of fear, but just out of awareness, right? Removing any distortion that is not aligned with your highest good. So let's see what else. Okay, so talking about that, this is a wonderful time to get in tune with divination, and the messages you're gonna get are gonna come much faster right now, because the energy is intensified. So like I was saying before I got on my tangent about entities, when you're seeing these animals crossing your path, either in dream form or in the physical plane, like, connect with them, you know, sit in a meditation and just connect with the essence of a bee, of a cardinal, of the jaguar that you saw, and just ask, you know, how are we meant to work together? And just try to feel their energy, try to feel it with your heart chakra. I have a heart chakra activation that will open up your heart chakra. It's on Instagram, and so you guys can check that out, and like, feel the energy, and then like, use your own spiritual Google before you go on to actual Google, okay? Because this is going to help you to practice, for you to get the answers inside of you first. Because again, like, when people see, like, let's say if I were to see a bee, for me that bee was giving me a different message than what it was on Google, right? Because on Google everything is like very generic. Like, when you look up articles like, what does this animal mean, what does my dream mean, it's very generic. But when you connect with the energy itself of that bee, of that dream that you had, then it's a more clear and accurate answer for you and what that message was. So practice that. And again, just remember, practice makes perfect. It takes time to build up these psychic abilities and these intuitive skills, and just have patience and just practice, okay? So one of the things that I also want to mention, that with this full moon, yes, it's in Scorpio, and Scorpio does rule transformation, death, rebirth, and all of that. And so it's important for you to do shadow work now. Shadow work is so important. For those of you who don't know what shadow work is basically looking at the parts of yourself that you've been bearing down. Like, what triggers you about other people? Is that something that you actually have inside of you? Like, what are the fears that you have within? What are the insecurities and doubts that you're afraid to show to other people? You know, it's the things that we've been burying within. And now, because what's going to be so crazy about this super full moon is, because it's a super full moon, the light is going to be so intense. And so with this light being so intense, it's gonna shine. It's gonna shine a light on our darkest aspects of ourselves. And we are all light and dark, right? We are all this yin and yang energy. Darkness is not bad. Darkness is actually there to empower us if we allow it to. And that's why this is such a powerful super full moon, because if you do the hard work now, if you look at all the things that you have been avoiding, if you look at all of the things that you reject about yourself, if you look at the things with complete light and honesty and clarity about the things that you reject about other people and about society, it will reveal to you so much wisdom and allow you to integrate. And that is what 2021 is about. The energy theme for 2021 is all about integration and integrating all aspects of our being so that we can truly authentically be ourselves in a more expanded state and more empowered. Like, that is what integration leads to. And I can't stress enough how important this is. I'm not gonna lie, it's a pain in the ass sometimes. It's hard. Like, I just recently went through I'm still in, I feel like I'm at the end of my spiritual test that I'm moving through. And it's because, and I know in my heart that I'm going through this test right now because I'm about to level up. And that's exactly what's going to happen with all of you. We have 111 people, 1111 people right now. And 111 is a master number of new beginnings. All of us are being prepared into a new chapter. Okay, what does this mean? I've been saying new chapter in the equinox as well, but this is a new chapter in yourself. It's not at the collective level, because the collective still has to go through a bunch of shit. You know, the collective needs to get its shit together, and one of the things is, we can't wait for the collective to get its shit together before we get our shit together, because eclipse season is coming up. Eclipse season is so intense, and we're already feeling that. But guess what? If you do the hard work now, your eclipse season is going to be smooth sailing, and it won't be as intense and dramatic, and it won't be such a bad, it's not a bad experience, such a challenging experience. Instead, it will be a more empowering experience. And why do I say that right now? Because we are, as leaders of this movement, right? And everyone's on the same page, okay? There's no hierarchy, but we are already awakening to our divinity and our power. Some people are still not aware of how powerful and divine they are and how they are powerful creators. So us who are already on this consciousness, on this wavelength, we are actually there to help the collective. So we're gonna feel the intensity of the eclipse right now during the super full moon, and over the next month in May. So you're gonna feel it for the collective. And again, remember to release any excess energy that's not yours, because again, I'm gonna talk about this at our full moon ceremony, because it's just such a big topic that I can't speak about it for 5 minutes here. But at our full moon ceremony, I'm gonna talk about the different choices that we have right now. And so this is something that I became aware of as I went through my own hey Carrie, as I went through my own journey, this spiritual journey of the spiritual test that I just went through, and it was a super it was very revealing, where my role is in this ascension process. I already knew what my life purpose was, but I am now finding another piece to the puzzle as to where I fit energetically into what's going to come in the next few years. And we all have a role to play. We are all playing a role, and it's a choice you can choose what role you want to play. Okay, and so I'm going to be talking more about that at our full moon ceremony. So our full moon ceremony is going to be on Zoom. It's going to be with Goddess Isis. So why are we doing a full moon ceremony with Goddess Isis? Because all of you guys voted that you wanted to connect with her, but also I think you also tapped into your intuitive abilities as you were voting for that, because Goddess Isis is the goddess of alchemy. She was able to resurrect her dead husband, Osiris. If you guys don't know the story, Goddess Isis is a goddess of Kemet, of ancient Egypt. And so her husband, Osiris, he was murdered by his brother Set because he wanted to take over the throne. And so he cut Osiris up into a bunch of pieces and dispelled it all around the world. So Goddess Isis, because she's also the goddess of magic, healing, and alchemy, what she did is she went on this quest with the help of Thoth to go get the pieces of her husband and put them back together and bring him back to life. And so she was able to resurrect her husband with the alchemy that she practiced. But also, why is she such an amazing and powerful being? Because she was an incredible leader. She led from her heart space, and one of the cool things about her is that she was able to, she was one of the few beings on our planet who was able to manifest another one of her bodies from another parallel reality into her physical reality. So that's why you see her with the wings, because Goddess Isis, what she did is she practiced alchemy with the electrons in her body to connect with that reality and bring that version of her body into this 3D physical body, and that's why she has the wings. So she's a master of alchemy, so much wisdom that she shares, so much healing. Like, she's one of the goddesses that she's one of my main spirit guides for sure. And like, I just can't express like how empowering she is, because you think about her and it's like, oh my gosh, like, how can you resurrect this? How can you bring wings? How can you practice so much divine magic, bring so much healing, and be of so much service to our world? And so like, it kind of feels a little bit like, you know, daunting to be up with this goddess, but if you're connecting with her, it is because you are a fractal of her. A lot of us, and like, this is a separate topic for soul groups, right? Because we are one expression of a soul group and a soul fractal that's connected to a higher fractal. And so we are a fractal of Isis, of Goddess Isis, if you resonate with her. And just know that if you're connecting with her, then it's for a reason, and trust that connection, trust your power, and you are just as powerful as her. And all of us, we are just as powerful as her. And that's what we have to remember, right? And a lot of the time with these spirit guides and these goddesses and gods, like, they are not meant to be worshipped. They are meant to, like, they are teaching us to worship ourselves, basically, because we are them, and they're just showing us what we truly are, but we forgot. And then again, this is what this whole awakening process is about. But we're gonna do a really beautiful alchemy ritual where we're going to cleanse our energy body with Goddess Isis, and we're gonna do a few other things. One of those is that we're going to be releasing any challenges, like the biggest challenges in our life. We're going to be releasing that. We're definitely going to be doing shadow work during the meditation, and I have a feeling that we're going to do something else as well within the actual ceremony, but she hasn't told me yet. And again, it's like, it's gonna be based on the energy of the group, right? Like, it's based on the energy of the group and what we need. So if you guys want to join that full moon ceremony and meditation, you can click the link in the description of this video, and you can also listen to the recording if you can't join us live. And again, this super full moon energy, we're gonna feel it before April 26th and after. Also, by the way, as I started talking about Goddess Isis, like, I'm sweating right now. Like, I don't know if you guys can see, but I'm sweating right now. Like, as soon as I started talking about her, I'm sweating so much. So I'm sure, and like, my right leg like my right foot is tingling. So like again, I'm like moving through so many changes as well. I'm going through my own healing, my own rebirth, and so it's just going to be an intense time for all of us. And just be compassionate with yourself. Know that you're not alone during this. Know that, you know, all the crazy dreams, the feeling of having migraines, tiredness, all of that, you're not alone in this. This is part of this ascension process, and just be as compassionate with yourself as possible. So we will feel this full moon energy before April 26th and after April 26th. So you guys always hear me say we'll feel full moon energies 3 days before and 3 days after. But this time around, because it's a super full moon and the day after Pluto is going retrograde, we're going to feel this transformational death rebirth energy until, like, I'm gonna say a week. Like, and I have to feel the energy, right? I have to feel it. That's why it does feel like we're gonna move through that for a week. And also May overall, we're gonna be feeling the eclipse energy. So we're gonna be moving through this. And again, do the hard work now so that once eclipse season comes, it's gonna be smooth sailing, because eclipse energy is gonna be intense. I'll make a separate video about that, because again, that's its own separate topic, a lot of things to cover there. But the most important thing to know is that you're going through a huge change right now, and surrender into that change. Know that you already have the answers. You already have everything that you need. And yes, change is scary. Not knowing stuff is scary, but surrender into that and then allow everything to unfold into your life. So someone asked, what is the hard work? Can you clarify? So the hard work, yes, you're totally right, Morga. It is the shadow work. So what do I mean by hard work right now? So let me know in the chat. Are you guys having dreams with like people from elementary school, high school, like old bosses? Oh, happy birthday, teen. Time to unlearn. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to all you Tauruses out there as well. Happy Taurus season. I hope you guys are having a beautiful new year that you're starting. So what do I mean by the hard work? Yes, that's shadow work. So it means looking into the parts of yourself that you have been rejecting. What are qualities that you ignore, right? And for me, I'll tell you guys something that I ignore so much is like, I feel so pressured by time. And that's been a shadow of mine for so long. And like now, and one of the things too is like, I'm fighting with my spirit guides right now. Like I'm fighting with my spirit guides and that's one of the reasons why I haven't done a Soul Family Friday yet. You know, we haven't had one in like the last 2 weeks because I've been moving through this period, and it's been happening to me for so like it's been this transformation that I'm moving through has been happening for like 2 to 3 weeks, I want to say. And I'm like, all right, the clock is ticking, guys. You guys better like end this transformation phase. All right, I'm ready. Y'all better help me level up. You better give me the answers. I've been waiting patiently. And so I'm just being petty with my guys. I'm like, all right, you know, we got to do it. We got to do it. Full moon's coming up. But then yesterday I was like, all right, you know what, whatever. Like I trust my higher self. I trust my higher self, just like I trust Goddess Isis. I trust my higher self that whatever I'm meant to do in this ceremony that we're gonna have, it's gonna come through. And it's like that surrendering. And that's why I feel like I'm towards the end of my like spiritual test that I'm moving through. And it's just exciting, you know, because I went through this last year, but last year it was actually this spiritual test that I went through. Last year it was around March. Like it was towards the end of March. So now it's interesting that it moved 3 weeks later. So again, like this is why journaling is so powerful, and I highly recommend writing, because like so much is happening in the world, like, you know, with so many things, but also in your own life, you know, you're moving through so many changes, and it's important for you to like write things down so that when you look back, you're gonna find trends, and then you're gonna use that to help you move easier throughout your life. so let me see what you guys are writing. Okay, sorry, one more thing before I get into the questions. Let me know if you guys have, I'll go into questions about the full moon, but one thing that I want to mention is that in Western astrology, the full moon is in Scorpio, but in in Vedic astrology, this full moon that's coming up is in Libra. And Libra is all about harmony. It's all about balance. So as you're doing this hard work where you're looking into the parts of yourself that you reject, the parts of yourself that you don't like, what are the challenges in your life that you're facing, and how have you created those challenges? Like, it's hard to face those questions, face the reality that we have attracted a lot of the toxic things into our lives ourselves. It is difficult to face that. And what Libra is trying to show us is to do it from the heart space. Be compassionate with yourself. And again, as you're like being, I don't want to say critical of yourself, as you're looking into the critical aspects of yourself, as you're doing the shadow work, make sure you're balancing that with a lot of self-love, a lot of self-care, and really bringing balance to that in your body, because it is a lot of things that we're moving through. It's super intense. I'm so glad now, like, I'm not sweating anymore. Like, I was literally, I was seriously sweating. So thank you, Goddess Isis, for whatever you did. I'm gonna drink some water on that note. And again, like, water is gonna be such a key part. Not only is this a Scorpio full moon, Scorpio is a water sign, but water, you need to be hydrated as you're doing this healing work, because this healing work, right, it's the trauma, the memories are stuck in your cells, it's stuck in your bones, in your organs. So as you're purging that, you're like working out, right? And so you need to drink a lot of water, just like when you go to the gym and you're working out. We're working out energetically, so you need to drink a lot of water, okay? That's such an important thing. One final tip before I get into questions is, we just started Taurus season, and Taurus, thank God it's Taurus season, because the eclipse energy is going to be intense, but Taurus is going to help you to ground that energy out. So do exercise, dance, eat yummy food, do things that connect you with your body, work with essential oils. I love frankincense so much. You know, work with essential oils, and just try to be in your body as much as possible, because sometimes, you know, especially living in these modern, in this modern society, we forget about our bodies because of the nature of reality that we're surrounded by our environment. Okay, so now I'm gonna get into questions. For those of you guys on Instagram, join us on YouTube if you want me to answer your question. Okay, so let me know if you guys have any questions. And this is about questions about the full moon. Oh, okay, here we go. Okay, should we do the Isis ceremony if we don't feel connected or drawn to her at all? That is a great question. That is a really great question. Okay, so what I would recommend that you do is, like, go watch the video. It's called How to Discern with Your Heart. And it's on my YouTube. I'll add in the description of this video, but I basically teach you a technique where you can get yes or no answers from your higher self. So instead of me telling you the answer, go ask your higher self for the answer. You can, and make sure you ask, you know, is it for my highest and greatest good? Or just ask right now. Let's just do it right now. Okay, so just take a few deep breaths. Okay, take a few deep breaths. You can close your eyes so that the attention is inwards. And take a deep breath from your belly, breathe your belly out. And exhale. Breathing in, expanding the belly outwards like a balloon. And exhaling out through the mouth. Now take the deepest breath you've taken all day. And out, beautiful. Now just visualize yourself inside of a gold pyramid. And as you feel this gold pyramid around you, set the intention that only the highest vibrations for your highest good will come in through this pyramid. So just set the intention that any energy that's not yours is moving to the outside of your pyramid. Now you can place your hands on your heart, and you're going to take a deep breath in. And exhale out through your heart space. Now, inside of your mind, you're going to ask, Is today Wednesday? Yes or no? Actually, let's do it differently. Okay, what you're gonna ask, you're just gonna say a statement. So you're going to say, it is 2023. And just feel your heart. Feel if it expands, if it contracts. Observe all the sensations in your heart and your body. Now you're going to say a true statement. You're going to say, today is Wednesday. And now you're going to say, it is April. And just feel what a yes feels like for you. What the truth feels like for you. Feel that. And now you're going to say, it is for my highest good to do this full moon ceremony with Goddess Isis. Okay, and now let me know what you got. Let me know what you felt. A true statement for us, your body feels lighter, it gets expanded, the heart feels lighter, right? When it's a no, the heart clenches up. So when you said it's 2023, your heart probably went like this and your muscles also probably shrunk. So let me know what you experienced. Okay, MA, let me know what you experienced. Dia said a whole yes. Wow, it beats more fully when I speak the truth, and your heart beats weaker when it's the false. That's powerful, right? So MA said yes, that's exactly what happened. And then Carrie said my heart was beating faster when saying 2023. Again, right? We all have different sensations. What my yes feels like, it might be your no. And that's why it's important for you to feel that in your own body. Your body has so much wisdom. You have so much wisdom. It's time to connect with it. So that's really awesome that you guys experienced that. I felt so free and light with the truth. It was definitely a yes, tingles on my heart and on the back of my head. That's so beautiful. Okay, so if you had trouble with this exercise, I'm gonna put the video in the description of. I'm gonna put the link in the description of this video for the full exercise. I just gave you guys a little part of it. If you're having trouble with this, go watch the whole video because we do it more slowly and there's more steps involved. So you guys can check that out. It's so powerful. I felt heart expansion with Isis. That is so beautiful. Does the vaccine hinder ascension? I'm gonna make the short answer is yes. I'm gonna make a separate video for that. So that's so amazing that you guys felt that. And yeah, I mean, the full moon ceremony with Goddess Isis, again, it's for beginners. And if you're a beginner or if you've been on your journey for some time, it's gonna benefit everybody. It's a really safe space. You connect with people who are on the same journey as you. It's a really safe space. We get really vulnerable. Every single ceremony people cry. It's a really safe space. I just want to stress that. And it's just very powerful. A lot of alchemy, a lot of transformation happens in each ceremony. And so it's just such a blessing to be able to do this work with you guys. It really is. And I'm excited for this one, to be honest. I'm particularly excited for this one. Why? Because Goddess Isis is so near and dear to my heart. Because she's so freaking powerful. And another reason why I'm really excited about this particular full moon ceremony that we're hosting is because I have no idea what Goddess Isis is gonna do. Like I have a feeling of what we're gonna do, but then there's this mystery part that she's keeping a mystery for me and for all of us. So I'm really excited about that. It's gonna be great. And the wonderful part about this is just like you guys spoke, with your higher self right now, with your intuition, with the yes and the no. In the ceremony, you're gonna get to connect with Goddess Isis herself. Why? Because I am just a bridge, right? I'm just a bridge, and we all have this connection with her. But in these full moon ceremonies, it's like I create a bridge for you to establish that connection, and then you are able to ask her any questions. You're able to get clarity from her directly, just like what we did. It's different than what we just did, but it's a similar type of exercise where you're gonna get answers from her and clarity from her. So it's just beautiful. If you guys want to join us, we'd love to have you. The link is in the description of this video. So I'm gonna get into questions. I just want to quickly explain what you get as part of the full moon ceremony. So you're gonna get instructions on how to prepare for the ceremony. You're gonna get what you need. Don't worry, it's nothing fancy. It's probably stuff you already have in your house. And then you're also going to get the live ceremony. It's going to be on Zoom, where you're going to get to ask questions as well. And you get the recording, again, if you can't attend live. And with every single purchase on our platform, a portion of all profits goes to an NGO. And that's because as we empower ourselves, it's so important to empower others, because this is a collective ascension process. It's individual and it's collective. So we got to do this together. And you also get access to our private Facebook community or Telegram community, where I share more articles, more tips, and energy updates there. So you get all of that, and we do this every single month, and the energy is gonna linger like a week after. I mean, we're already feeling it now, so I'm gonna say instead of 3 days before and 3 days after, like normal full moons, it's gonna be a week before and a week after. So you can listen to this recording anytime, but even when it's not full moon, you can listen to it at any time, because shadow work is so powerful. We should, it's good to constantly practice that self-reflection. So every time that you listen to that ceremony and meditation, it's going to shift something differently within you. Just like I was listening to our equinox ceremony a few days ago, and the equinox ceremony was a month ago. And when I listened to it, I process things in a different way. And yes, I listen to my own stuff again, because I don't know what I say sometimes, like, because you're just in the moment, and you're just allowing it to flow. So that's sort of like what happens when you channel. You kind of don't know what's happening. So it was wonderful to listen to that again. Okay, so yeah, you guys can ask questions now about the full moon. And I love this because I saw 99 people live right now, and 9 is the number of endings. And again, this is I didn't stress this. I'm so sorry. I should have said this from the get-go, okay? We are bringing an ending to the old version of you. So a lot of us, we've been programmed to act a certain way, to dress a certain way, to speak a certain way, right? We had to be something for our parents, for our family, for our friends, for our career. Now we're bringing all of that, and it's like being transmuted and transformed into the true version of you. That is what this whole death and rebirth cycle refers to with Pluto and Scorpio. It's the death of the old you, the fake version of you, right? Because the fake version of us was programmed by society to dress and do and be like this and do this and be like that. But now we're being authentically ourselves. We're birthing the true expression of ourselves authentically, full force, empowered, and expanded. So just to clarify, that is what I meant by death and rebirth. Like, that is what's happening. I'll probably make a short video about that, because I should have said that earlier. So my apologies. There's just so much to talk about for this. Okay, let me see. So let me know if you guys no, the link is already in the description of this video to join the full moon ceremony, just to clarify. I have a birthday on this super full moon. Does it have a special significance? Happy birthday, Penning. Yes, it does. It does. I'm curious if you were also born on a full moon or a new moon. But yeah, it does. It's going to be a big year for you. It's going to be a big year filled with a lot of transformation, a lot of growth as well. Tips for manifesting money during the super full moon. I would recommend that you work on your financial blocks, release your financial blocks. What do you think about money? Like, do you have any self-sabotage regarding your money beliefs? what meditation of yours do you recommend the days before the eclipse? I would recommend this one, the one that we're about to do, because it's going to focus on that transformational energy, and that shadow energy which the eclipse brings out. So that's the one I would recommend to listen to. And I also would recommend that you listen to the Kuan Yin meditation. The Kuan Yin meditation is very nurturing and loving, and that's why you have to balance, right? You have to do the hard work, but then you also have to love yourself and be gentle with yourself. Let me see. Okay. Let me go back. Will you still do the exercise in the link below? Yes, I'm gonna put the heart discernment exercise in the link in the description of this video. Can Isis tell me what kind of business I should do to gain money? Yes, she can share that information with you. And like I said, you're gonna get direct access to her in the ceremony. Can you share all the meditation links in this video? Yeah, I'll add them to this video after. Kuan Yin was amazing. I know, right? Oh, I love Kuan Yin. It's so interesting, like Kuan Yin and then Goddess Isis, like such different energy, but both are still the essence of the Divine Mother. Like that's one of the, I didn't share this with you guys, but that's one of the reasons why I changed my name. So Tara, it just came to me when I was connecting with my future self. Yes, we can connect that. We can do that. We can connect with our future selves to get information. So I was doing that. And I felt like I really was going through this death and rebirth process, and I just didn't align with my name anymore, like Claudia. And so I was like, okay, so for my soul's highest and greatest good, what is my soul's name? And then the word Tara came up, and I had no idea what that meant. And then I looked it up, and Tara means it means star, it means the light of the soul, it means Queen of the Sea. And so what's really beautiful about Tara, it's like Gaelic, and I have like, that past life connection to when I had a life in that side of the world. And then it's also Sanskrit. So I also connected to the Indian Valley region, and so it was just cool to see that connection. And one of the reasons why I love that name is because Dara is both used for boys and girls, so I love that, and that's something I'm trying to integrate more. Like, you guys know I'm super like in my full moon, like I got my moon shirt. I'm a super like moon connected being, and I'm very connected to that essence, and what I'm doing now is like I'm integrating more of my sun essence. And so this divine feminine and masculine, so I love that name was gender neutral, and so I just love that, and I'm trying to integrate that more into my being. And then soul, it means sun in Spanish, and I wanted to keep that sort of that culture, because I do have Latin American, like I was born in Bolivia, and so I wanted to keep those roots and keep that connection to my culture. So I really love it as well. It's just like so smooth and soothing, so I just love that combination of the two. But yeah, I mean, we're all moving through this together. It was challenging too, right? Because I faced so much resistance within myself. I faced resistance from my family trying to change my name. Like it was a lot to work through. But and I'm sure you guys are gonna be dealing with family stuff before and after as well. So it's a lot. How do you connect with your future self? So there's like two different ways to do that. One is through astral projection, and one is like through journeying. And so that's what I teach in my Healing Academy. If you guys want to get more information about that, you can click in the description of this video. So I'm building a modern mystery school. For those of you guys who don't know what modern mystery schools is, it's like basically the secret schools that they used to teach people magic in. It's cool because now Netflix is making a bunch of shows about that, but I'm creating a modern version of that. Where I'm already doing my pilot right now. It's amazing. People have connected with their future selves, and they're getting a lot of downloads and expansion. And so I'm gonna do another version of this coming up, so you guys can click the link in the description of this video to find more information about that. Okay, so let me see. So interesting, this school. Yeah, I'm excited too. It's been awesome. Like right now we've been moving through, like we're halfway done through our program, and like it's just been so amazing to feel and to see and to grow with other people. And I'm also teaching them alchemy, advanced manifesting techniques, and it's just been awesome to see them manifesting instantly, seeing their powers grow and realizing their power. It's been awesome. So for if you ask how can we join this school, you can click the description of this video. I put Healing Academy there, and you can check that out. But yeah, I hope you guys have, and yeah, Laura, it's so awesome to have you a part of that. So Laura is a part of our class, and she's like a natural alchemist. So it's cool to like be with people who are already like natural healers, and to like take that ability to a whole nother level. So I'm just so excited to work with so many powerful people all around. It is really, really awesome. Oh, can I talk more about the retro? I just read one question. Can you talk more about the retrograde after the full moon? Yeah. Can beginners join the school? You can click the link in the description. It's going to tell you what I recommend for beginners. So, hey Nina. So what can I talk about the retrograde that's happening after the full moon? So the full moon is on April 26th. On April 27th, just a few hours. See, I was so used to saying days because this stuff doesn't normally happen. Like cosmic events aren't usually this close to each other. That's why this is so powerful and so special, because it's a super full moon, and then the retrograde is hours after. So Pluto goes retrograde hours after. It goes retrograde on April 27th. It's going to be in retrograde for the next 6 months until October. So with Pluto governs power. So there's going to be a lot of power struggles in your own life. Again, like I said, likely with your family, with your relationships, at work, and also at the collective level. Pluto deals with secrets, with alchemy, with transformation, with death and rebirth. So a lot of stuff is going to rise up to the surface, both your own like secrets that you've been hiding even from yourself, right? Because we hide a lot of memories in our subconscious mind, and in our dreams, like that comes up to the surface, like things that we've been hiding. And so our secrets, both individually in our families and at the collective level, are going to come to the surface. There's going to be power struggles. So my biggest tip for Pluto retrograde is to take back your power. Whatever you've been giving away your power to, take it back. And what does this mean? Like if you like, even like talking about the job, right? So with that, right, take your power back. And like, what does this mean? Like I personally would only get it if I have to, in order to travel. But the way, it's not like the way that I think about it, it's not like I'm being forced to do this so that I can travel. No, I would be like, oh, I'm doing this so I can travel. Like I'm doing this to empower myself. And all you have to do is take the power back. And then that's going to also affect what effects the thing has on your physical body, right? Because your body will be like, okay, like, you know, this is like whatever, I'm just gonna release anything that doesn't serve my body. But if we're scared of something and we give our power away to it, then it's going to have more of an effect on our lives. So this goes for anything like relationships, events, situations. Like take your power back in all situations. And I don't mean this to do this in like a forceful way. Taking your power back, you do that with grace. You can do that with grace. So again, like shadow work is the best thing to do that. Shadow work is one of the best ways to do that, to see where you're giving away your power. and how can you put that that power back. And like one of the things, right, it's like I'm gonna make a separate video and I'm gonna post it on our Telegram channel, so check that out about that thing that so you can check that out about how to decide whether is this thing right for me or is it not. So I'm gonna share with you guys three steps to figuring out whether it's best for you to do this or not. Okay, so I hope you guys have an incredible rest of your day. Happy super full moon. Drink lots of water, ground, do some journaling. Make sure you're practicing divination. Try to get answers in your dreams through tarot cards, crystals, whatever form you like to do. This is a great time for you to get information from the other realms. So practice that. And I hope to see you at our full moon ceremony meditation. You can join that by clicking the description in this video. We have the link to join. It's going to be such a powerful and beautiful session. So I hope to see you guys and have a beautiful super full moon. Much love. Bye, everyone.